What's up, world? This is Salim with Flip for Figs, and today is a very exciting day because I just received my most anticipated Hot Toys Star Wars figure of all time, Darth Maul 2.0 from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is the deluxe version with the speeder bike, and yeah, I've never been this excited to unbox a Hot Toy before, so let's get into it.
Flip for Figs.
When I flip, you flip, we flip.
Alrighty, so this is everything that you're going to get in the box. You're going to get this huge speeder here, the USB plug so you can keep it plugged in, which is nice. I love that Hot Toys is starting to do that so you don't have to kind of figure out a different solution. This is the probe droid. He comes with his own stand, which is cool, as well as this antenna. I'm having trouble trying to figure out how that plugs in because it keeps falling out, and it is keyed, so I'm sure there's a right way to do it. You get his binoculars, which he used when he was spying on Qui-Gon and the crew. You get this incredible angry head sculpt to battle Qui-Gon. And then you get this gauntlet, which you can use on either arm. You get a bunch of hands. You have a force push and lightsaber for both sides, and then you also have a closed fist on the other side. So pretty much all the hands you would need. And then you get this lightsaber hilt, which is USB light up, and this one doesn't come apart. But then you get the other one, which is non-light up, and this one can separate, and then you can add the this little piece here so that it's not just a gaping hole at the end, so you can make it look like Obi-Wan just cut it in half. And then you also get a USB single hilt right there, which is for, you know, the battle after it's been cut in half. And so yeah, swooshing effects and regular blades for each. And then you get his hood, which again, I want to get another Darth Maul so I can display him with the hood and have that hooded look because he looks super beast with that on. This base is super large, and I guess that's to balance the weight of the speeder, but even if you get Darth Maul by himself, he still comes with this same base. And this has, you know, that Thebe Palace factory scene where they fight in the Duel of Fates. It kind of has that design. But if you want him displayed as if it's Tatooine, you have this, which is a sticker, and you can put it on. And then you get, this is the post for the speeder bike, and then you have a flight pole for Darth Maul as well with the waist clamp. And then this is the little tool to move his eyes around, because both the standard head sculpt as well as this head sculpt have moving eyes. You can pretty much access them without the little tool. I feel like the tool makes it harder to get them to match. And then you do get the junction box here for the different lightsaber ports. Alrighty, just wow. I mean, I've been wanting a Darth Maul Hot Toys figure ever since I discovered what a Hot Toys was, and this face is just amazing. I know that the previous Darth Maul Hot Toys figures, the likeness was kind of off, like the Solo version and even the original, you know, Phantom Menace one, as well as the Clone Wars one. That's like somebody, you know, who's doing Darth Maul cosplay, but this is Ray Park from the movie. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It looks identical to him, and I'm so happy to have him. The sculpt is just amazing. It looks like war paint, you know, and these spikes are really sharp. Moving eyes, obviously. This stoic expression is kind of how we met Darth Maul and how he was in all the promo photos with and without the hood on. And so I'm just super happy with it. This belt is really nice material. It looks like leather to me, but it may be pleather. I'm not sure. It looks a little different than some of the other pleather materials I've seen. So the boots are sculpted plastic, which is a nice change because I feel like every Hot Toys figure I've gotten recently has been pleather boots, but it's sculpted. So are these gauntlets. And then the rest of the suit is fabric. These tabards are wired, so you can get them in a lot of dynamic poses. And yeah, let's check out the other head. Yeah, this head is just ferocious. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. I know a lot of people are struggling with which head to display on their Darth Maul figure, and the compromise I decided on doing was having this face kind of in a dynamic pose with his dual-bladed lightsaber like he's about to battle, and then use the other one with the hood on, holding the binoculars, standing in front of the speeder bike. I think that's going to look really cool, and it'll help me flesh out my Phantom Menace collection since there's so few figures from there. But this face sculpt just looks terrifying. Yeah, I love it, and I'm glad that I will be able to display both of these because they're perfect. Alrighty, folks, so I have the speeder plugged in now. So basically, in order to get access to the on and off switch, you remove this panel, and then you'll see the on and off switch there. Something that's interesting is it's got to be a USB-C to standard USB in order for it to work. I don't know why. It seems like a really odd choice, especially since other Hot Toys figures are compatible with like the USB-C to USB-C type. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind because I thought it didn't work at first. But you could see there's the tail lights right there, and then the lights on the instrument panel are there as well. You do not get articulation on the foot pedals, which I thought was interesting, but you do get it on the handles. It's got really nice sculpt work. I never had the original. This is my first Darth Maul figure I ever had, so I never had the speeder either. But I've seen other videos, and it looks to be pretty identical. But yeah, the only kind of quirk is that USB-C thing. Now, I do think it's odd that it's here. I think it would have been better if it was in the center so you could hide it behind the flight pole. So yeah, that's the speeder. All right, so I tried my best to pose him like the box art because I think that's such a killer pose, and it uses pretty much every accessory there is with the speeder bike, and having his cloak on without the hood being on though. I think in terms of display presence, this is probably how I'm going to display it until I do get the other body and can, just have one fighting Maul and one kind of just hanging out with the binoculars next to the speeder bike. But man, this is just the most incredible Hot Toys figure. The most incredible action figure I've ever had. I'm just so freaking happy with it. It looks amazing from every angle. I mean, there's no denying that this is just phenomenal, every part of it. Alrighty, folks. Well, if you haven't gotten the gist yet, I am just obsessed with this figure. I love Darth Maul. I love Star Wars, but man, this thing is just incredible. I'm speechless. And you know what's funny is like as I look at it, especially in this pose with the speeder and everything like that, I almost feel like I need to clear out one of these entire cabinets just to put it there by itself. It almost feels like too good to kind of put stuff around it and take away from it. It feels like it needs its own focal point in my collection. Obviously, I don't have the space for that, so it's kind of unfortunate. It would break my heart to take him out of this pose because I just think it looks amazing, and just having him kind of standing there with a lightsaber, even though it's an incredible figure and it looks good no matter how you put him, it just feels like, I need this pose to do it justice. But yeah, I mean, until you get it in hand and you actually play around with it, and the cloak, every single bit of it is wired. There's hands for every type of gesture you want to do. The speeder bike is great. Multiple lightsaber hilts that are all USB. The head sculpts are just incredible. Like it's a tug of war trying to figure out which one to display it with. And every time I have this face on, I'm like, oh, I missed the other face. And then every time I put the other face on, I'm like, no, I need to go back to this face. And so Hot Toys nailed it. I mean, granted, it's not their first attempt at Darth Maul. It's their fourth version. Essentially, you had Phantom Menace, Solo, and Clone Wars. So I'm glad that they finally got it right. Right? I mean, if you don't get it right by your fourth time, you're doing something wrong. But they went above and beyond with this figure. I'm so incredibly happy. Again, I never had the original Phantom Menace one. I know the deluxe with the speeder is essentially the same figure with, I think, the same accessories, if I'm not mistaken, down to the probe droid. But this head sculpt just takes it out of the park. And I'm so glad that I didn't buy a Darth Maul Hot Toys figure a couple years ago when I thought about doing so, because it would have been harder to justify getting this new one just for the head sculpt. but I can see why many people do. It's that good. I'm just so happy with it. It's amazing, and I think you'll agree if you get it in hand too. So, with that said, you know, do I recommend you buying this figure? 120%. I think that you can still get it from a lot of different websites now, including, you know, even stateside. So, if you're on the fence, pick it up because I have a feeling this is going to be one of the greatest ever. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I've said everything I can say about him, but amazing figure, highly recommend, and yeah, I'll see you next time. I don't know what else to say. It's that good. I love it. You'll love it, and so I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
When I flip, you flip, we flip.